Hey gang, come on in. It's playoff time here at Crossing Broad.
You give me a rain.
What's up everybody? Bob Wankel, CrossingBroad.com. NFL Divisional Round is here, and the first game of the weekend is between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. Minnesota fresh off an upset win over the heavily favored Saints last Sunday. Can they run it back this week and spring yet another upset? We will get into that in just a minute, but if you are looking to bet on this game, head over to CrossingBroad.com/DK. They'll give you a $500 risk-free first bet just for signing up. And also be sure to check out FoxBet, CrossingBroad.com/FP. They'll give you $20 just for signing up and match your first deposit up to $100. All right, so let's take a look at the current odds between the Vikings and the 49ers midweek, courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook. 49ers are currently favored by 7 points. Total sits at 44.5. So some trends to consider here. Let's start with playoff underdogs on the road of 7 to 9 points. Overall, 20-11-1 ATS, and that includes a 10-5-1 against the spread record in the divisional round. So that's very encouraging if you're looking for the Vikings to spring another colossal upset here. Also know the playoff underdogs of 7 to 9 points getting less than 50% of the public action, and the bets are on the 49ers right now, and they're on the 49ers heavily. Know that these teams are 18-4-1 against the spread, and they're 14-4-1 ATS when a favorite of 7 to 8 points. So again, this strongly backs a play on the Vikings. I actually used this trend last week to pick Minnesota to cover over the Saints when people, especially in the public, were riding the Saints heavily. Also know that the Vikings typically have been a pretty live underdog under Mike Zimmer. 18-12 ATS is a road underdog under Zimmer. That includes a 6-3 ATS mark as an underdog of at least 6.5 points. And the Vikings are also 15-6 ATS as an underdog against non-division NFC opponents, including 11-4 ATS on the road. You get Mike Zimmer coach teams outside of the division, they tend to do well with unfamiliar opponents. They're a very disciplined team. They can run the football, play good defense, so this is not much of a surprise. In terms of the total, the over is 9-6 in the divisional round. When the total closes between 44 and 46 points, it's 6-3 when the road team went under in its previous game with a total that falls in this range. Saints-Vikings went under in the wild card round a week ago, and the over is also 7-2 in road games coached by Zimmer that closed between 44.5 to 46 points. All right, so as for some recommended bets on this football game, I'm starting with the Vikings as a 7-point underdog. I will take those points. I love Minnesota a week ago against the Saints. I love the idea of taking bigger underdogs going against the public. We saw that trend about those teams being 18-4-1 ATS. I'm going to ride that again this week. I think that Minnesota competes. Again, they can run the football, they play quality defense, and I just don't buy San Francisco as a runaway type team. So give me the Vikings +7 at FoxBet. Also like the idea of teasing Minnesota up to 13 and going over 38. That's a 6-point teaser. Again, if you want to cross the key number of 13, you could do a 6.5-point teaser, get that up to 13.5, and then drop this to 37.5. You obviously do have to pay a little bit more to do that. You can do it at DraftKings Sportsbook. Dalvin Cook to score a touchdown at +110 odds. You can get that at FoxBet. Dalvin Cook is extremely explosive. You saw the type of damage that he did against the Saints a week ago after missing the final couple games of the regular season. He looked fresh and ready to go, and I expect him to find the end zone in this football game. Once again, if you are looking to bet on this weekend's NFL playoff action, you can head over to crossingbroad.com/DK. Download DraftKings Sportsbook. They will give you up to a $500 risk-free first bet. Also, be sure to check out FoxBet, crossingbroad.com/FB. They'll give you $20 just for signing up and match your first deposit up to $100.